Good evening and welcome to the Little Athletics Victoria Centre Excellence Awards for season 1920. My name's Anthony McIntosh. I am the Chief Executive of Little Aths Victoria. And whilst the format of our awards session this year, being pre-recorded and online, is vastly different to what it has been traditionally, notwithstanding that, it's not going to preclude us, not going to stop us from actually recognising the great feats of individuals in our centres right across our association from the season just gone. So in terms of the format for tonight, it'll be pretty similar to what those of you that have been to previous galas have come to expect. We'll be recognising and celebrating the fundraising efforts to start with in aid of LAVic's designated charity, the Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday Appeal. And we'll hear some words from the new CEO of the Good Friday Appeal, Rebecca Cowan. I'd also, just on that note, like to acknowledge the previously departed CEO, Anne Randall, who was at the helm of the Good Friday Appeal for many years and a wonderful friend and supporter of LAVic. So if you're out there watching and listening, Anne, thanks so much for your support over the journey. And we also look forward, of course, to working with Rebecca and her team as she settles into her role. Following those awards, we'll have Shane Bertrand, our General Manager of Competition and Education, present a series of awards, including the Host Centre Award, the Coach of the Year Award, the Brian Neighbour Centre Coach of the Year Award, and the Official of the Year Award. Then it'll be back to me to present the Centre Marketing Award and Volunteer of the Year Awards. And we'll finish up the night with the Centre Membership Awards, where we will recognise small and large centres from each region. And the final award to be presented will be the overall winners across all of the 7 regions in the small and the large centre categories. So I'd like to acknowledge the very generous support of our sponsors, and many of you will be familiar with these names. Our sponsors would have ordinarily participated in a trade show at our conference. They would be at our gala dinner for the most part, and engaging with you and participating. This year, of course, we've been unable to do that because our conference has been online and our gala awards dinners have been pre-recorded and streamed online as well. However, notwithstanding their inability to join in person, they continue to support our association, and they're sponsoring our award categories tonight. And for that, we thank them. Timing Solutions, Nick Fredericton and his team, thanks Nick. Game Day Apparel, Aaron Cusack and his team, thanks Aaron. Kate and Kane McIntyre from Energetic Apparel, thanks for your support, guys. There's Neil Pittman from Nordic Sport, Roy Kowalski from Out There Branding, and Andy Graham and his team at Sports TG, or Stack Sports as they've been recently renamed. So on to the first awards for the evening. They concern fundraising efforts by centres for LAVic's designated charity, the Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday Appeal. To present those awards and the traditional annual message from the Royal Children's Hospital, it's my pleasure to introduce the CEO of the Good Friday Appeal, Rebecca Cowan.
Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Cowan and it's a privilege to be here at the Little Athletics Victoria Awards. This is actually my first awards as I'm the new director of the Good Friday Appeal. And Anne Randall, who was the previous director, along with the team, speak very highly of the support Little Aths has provided the Good Friday Appeal for so many years. Your support since 1972 has raised over $1.1 million, and it's such a huge effort, and it requires commitment and passion to make sure that this happens. I'm a mum of 3 kids, and we all know the importance of kids participating in sport and the impact that this has on their well-being and their health. And a couple of years ago, my daughter did a season at the Sandringham Centre. She participated with her friends, she tried new events, and for her it was all about giving it a go. But what we also got out of it as a family was we were warmly welcomed and were engaged, and it was all about supporting each other as a community. And it is that sense of community that resonated during our time at Little Aths. And as a group, you choose to support the Good Friday Appeal, and you provide the opportunity for kids to think about how they can help others. And these are such key values for our children to learn, to understand, and to apply to their day-to-day life. It's important and it's a wonderful gift you are teaching them, so thank you very much. To say that this year has been challenging really is an understatement. It has been challenging on so many fronts. And in these challenging times, to hear that as a group that you were still able to raise over $40,000, I believe it was $40,204 across 35 of your centres is such an incredible achievement. As you're aware, the money goes to supporting the Royal Children's Hospital, and every year over 55,000 children are admitted, over 86,000 children are treated in emergency, and there's another 300,000 that receive care through their specialist clinics. And at any time, our children may need life-saving care or may have to rely on groundbreaking research, and your support goes towards funding the latest equipment, research, technology, and that family-centred care. It enables the Royal Children's Hospital to continue to provide world-class care for its young patients and families whenever they may need it. Next year is our 90th appeal, and we look forward to Little Lass Victoria being part of this amazing milestone to ensure that that care can continue to be provided. So thank you once again, and I congratulate all of you for your commitment to giving back and being there for the community. Thank you so much.
She was terribly swollen, had blood pressure problems, breathing problems, and there was major concerns that she wasn't going to survive.
Jared came home and we decided to head into hospital. I still remember really clearly holding each other's hands on the way in and saying it was going to be okay, and that everything would be fine. It would just better to check. And then my obstetrician came in with an ultrasound, and she kept looking at me saying that, "I'm so sorry, but your baby has passed away." There was this excitement that we were going to become parents, and then a real sadness to it as well, of this beautiful little face that wasn't going to be in our family. Our other baby was dying as well.
So she was having nutrition through the IV, but there was nothing getting past. And so she was expanding, and the fluid overload in her body was huge.
When you're accumulating fluid, the fluid goes into all the body compartments, including the lungs. So the more fluid that accumulates, the more the respiratory support needs to be there, the ventilation, and the more difficult it is for that child to then potentially tolerate a surgical procedure.
And the doctor's not been able to give you an update as to whether, one, she was going to live, but two, what you're going to look forward to, because they just couldn't tell us.
We can't plan for more than a day ahead when we're in a situation like Quinny was in for the first week or 2 weeks. We plan for the next 4 to 6 hours.
They were sort of saying, if this next treatment doesn't work, there's not much else we can do.
So we try and give the family the best chance of having a quality of life and not being stuck in hospital. And that needs a lot of support for the family, constant calls back and forward, and that's largely done through our peritoneal dialysis nurse consultant.
My purpose of donating my kidney was for Quinny to have a better life.
For Rod to come forward and say that he was willing to put his life in danger to save Quinny was just the most beautiful gift. We got the phone call to say that she was out and that it was a huge success. And then this burst of energy just came with it. We feel like Quinny's life started after transplant. Just watching her completely flourish has just been so good. We focus on gratitude, the things that have gone really well and the things that we are so lucky to have. We always talk about that Harriet comes as butterflies, so very, very strange times of holidays and things, there will be a butterfly around us and usually a butterfly playing around Quinny, and we always know she sort of is not too far from us.
Now I'd like to announce the Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday Appeal overall winner per capita. And now this is awarded to the centre that raised the most amount of money on a per member basis during the 2019-2020 season. So this is a centre that they're coming up to their 50th season, and they compete on a grass track each Friday night, and they were able to raise their funds through a traditional 3-hour relay-a-thon, and they ran 124 laps in the time frame, which was approximately 49.6 Ks. That's a huge effort. There were 59 members, and they have raised a huge amount of $1,388.40. So I would like to announce and congratulate for the second year in a row to Kahuna Little Athletics. What a wonderful effort and achievement, and thank you to every single member, to all the families, the supporters and suppliers who were able to make it happen, and particularly to all the children that participated. Thank you so much and congratulations. I'd also like to make an honourable mention to Lake Bolac, who in their first season with 43 members raised an outstanding $940.45. So thank you everyone also to Lake Bolac. I would now like to announce the award to the centre for the most funds raised for the Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday Appeal. This centre has recently celebrated their 50th season, and they compete on a synthetic track on a Saturday morning. They conducted their annual Little Arts Gift, a gold coin entry for all athletes to enter the handicap race to win a sash. On the day, they also donated their barbecue profits and rattled the tins around the venue. They continue to put in an outstanding effort each year to raise money for the Good Friday Appeal, and most recently in 2017-18 they raised the most money per capita award, and in 2018-29 they raised the most overall. So I'm delighted to announce that this year's winning centre, with 226 members, raising an incredible $2,713.40, and for the second year in a row is the Ringwood Little Athletics Centre. So congratulations and thank you again to everyone involved, those who assisted with the planning, the logistics on the day, shaking a tin or participating any way that you were able to support is greatly appreciated. And we know a lot of work and planning goes into organising something like this. So thank you again from everyone from the Good Friday Appeal and every family and child who's ever had to use the Royal Children's Hospital services. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending the Gala Awards night for season 2019-20. Certainly from the competition point of view, since postponing the state track and field on the Friday, we didn't expect to be conducting an online conference in late August. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the State Track and Field Championship and the entire cross-country season. The Little Athletes Australian National Championship, ALAC, was also cancelled. As a result of these cancellations, we will not be presenting the two State Championship Champions Awards, as we're not able to complete the qualifying events. We are dealing with the same uncertainty as we did back in March. However, we are hopeful for an exciting start to the season sometime soon. With the track redevelopment at Lakeside Stadium occurring during the latter half of 2019, we had to move our Subway State Relay Championship from Lakeside. We've been extremely fortunate to have such a great working relationship with the City of Casey and Cranbourne Little Athletics Centre in particular. The committee and volunteers led by Holger are so passionate in their desires to provide an outstanding venue with facilities required for a state championship. The amount of planning, effort and commitment that Cranbourne has dedicated to our state events is truly appreciated. Thank you Cranbourne Little Athletics Centre and all your wonderful volunteers. We award you the host centre. Coaching Awards. The first award is for our Coach of the Year category. Coaching remains a vibrant part of Little Athletics, and the time and effort that our coaches dedicate to the sport should be recognised and rewarded. The Coach of the Year award helps to highlight and encourage the special qualities of coaches in junior sport and the immense impact they have on the development of our athletes. This award is sponsored by our equipment supplier, Nordic Sport Australia. We thank Neil Pittman for his wonderful support, the association and this award. The winner receives a $500 voucher from Nordic Sport along with a trophy. We have 3 award winners to recognise their outstanding efforts. The winner of the Bronze Award for the Coach of the Year is Mark Carey. Congratulations, Mark. The winner of the Silver Award for Coach of the Year is Joshua Plan. Congratulations, Joshua. The winner of the Coach of the Year, proudly supported by Nordic Sport Australia, is Richard Coleman. Thanks Richard for joining us. The winner of the Coach of the Year award, sponsored by Nordic Sport Australia. Richard, can you just tell us a little bit about how you got started in athletics?
Yeah, so my experience now in athletics is over 25 years. So I started when I was 10 years old doing school athletics days, and then I was encouraged to come down to Little Athletics here in Geelong, and I joined up as a little 10-year-old, and my first season I was competing in my day chair. So it goes back to those days before I got my very first racing chair. So pushing down the straight in my day chair, throwing out of my day chair and trying to do it all in my day chair. So that was an interesting experience. But yeah, I've been had wonderful support from Little Athletics in Geelong all my life, and particularly Chilwell, and I'm still a member today. So I'm still very grateful for all the support and encouragement back when I was under 11s.
Oh, terrific. And so we're talking about the coaching awards. So how did you get involved in coaching?
Yeah, as I grew up, I had some great opportunities and mentors along the way. And my first experience of coaching was, I think it was around 2002 when I was involved in the school athletics days and then the APS for Geelong College and involved in the coaching of the distance squad there. And then along the way, I started coaching and mentoring a few of the wheelchair athletes, and I expanded from there, and somehow it just came into being a full squad now and a lot of ages and abilities and for everyone.
Terrific. And what do you enjoy the most from your coaching activities?
I enjoy seeing the change in people over the time and changing from a shy little kid into this full-grown, confident and elite athlete and someone who believes they can achieve anything. And that's the main point, is as a coach, helping them believe that they can be successful and be successful in life and sport, and giving them the skills to be able to do that along the way.
Oh, that's great. And do you have a coaching philosophy that has helped you over the years?
Yeah, I think everyone can help other people achieve success, and it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, but also developing skills to really achieve great things in sport and life. And yes, we want to achieve success at that next competition, but it's about developing the athlete and also about developing the person to be successful in business, in life and study and whatever they choose. So trying to develop confidence and all round great people.
Terrific. That's great, Richard. And we look forward to seeing you soon when the season starts and getting some multi-class activities up as part of our multi-class ambassador. And congratulations and thanks again, Richard. We'll see you soon. Our next award is the Brian Neighbour Centre Coach Award. This award focuses on the achievements of coaches at the centre level. Brian Neighbour, although he was Olympic Games coach, emphasised the importance of coaching at the centre. This is where dreams start, he often said. We want to recognise and reward those coaches developing our junior athletes. The winner of the Brian Neighbour Centre Coach Award for 2019-2020 is Brett Schofield, August. Thanks, Brett, for joining us, the winner of the Brian Neighbour Centre Coach Award. Brett, can you just tell us a little bit about how you started in Little Athletics and when did you get involved in coaching?
So I started with the Albury Club about 13 years ago when my son joined in under sixes, and I guess with the coaching side of things, it was a little bit later on, and I saw a need there at the club, especially with the Wednesday sessions. So I did the introduction to coaching course and went from there.
Terrific. And why do you think it's important to provide centre level coaching?
Look, I think this is where the kids get their grounding. It's where they learn all the fundamental skills. So I think we have to teach it at centre level.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now, the award is named after Brian Neighbour, who was very much involved in coach education. He was a great believer in education and mentoring. Can you provide some details on your philosophy with these?
Look, I guess my philosophy is, I'm still always learning. So it's certainly, great to avail yourself of any other coaches out there that are imparting information and then becoming a conduit and actually passing those on to other coaches to keep that pool happening. It's how we build each other up. It's how you keep progressing the sport. So that's the way I look at it.
Terrific. And thank you very much, Brett. And congratulations again. And we really look forward to seeing what Albury's doing in the next 12
Thank you very much, Shane.
Thank you. Our next award is the Official of the Year Award, proudly supported by Game Day Apparel. As covered in numerous presentations throughout the conference, officiating is fundamental to our sport. We are fortunate to have such an amazing group of volunteers who dedicate their time and effort to ensure our athletes can compete, whether at centre, region or state level. Our officials are often the hardest working volunteers at our events and mostly not recognised for their dedication. We thank you all for your amazing efforts. The winner receives a $500 cheque from Game Day Apparel and the trophy. The winner of the Official of the Year for 2019-2020 is Steve Wolf, Berwick, Gippsland Country Region. Thanks, Steve, for joining us. The winner of the Official of the Year, sponsored by Game Day Apparel. Steve, can you give us a little bit of an indication of how you started in Little Athletics and when did you get involved in officiating other than the centre duties?
So, yeah, first of all, thanks for the award. It's much appreciated. And I started way back when I was a kid, and I started at Northvale Little Athletics, which competed at Ross Reserve at the Springvale Centre. My dad was always there officiating and helping out. Later becoming a life member of Northvale. So when I had kids of my own, it was just natural progression that I gave them the opportunity to try Little Athletics, and they loved it. And I just jumped straight in to helping out. Did the starters course and the race walk judging course, and from there, pretty much straight into officiating at region from that scenario.
Terrific. And what do you enjoy the most about officiating at centre, region and state level?
Just the interaction with everybody involved, not just the other parents that are helping officiate in an event, but interacting with the kids at the event. If you can make it a bit lighthearted and a bit fun, they enjoy it. It's a lot more relaxed for them while they're competing at the event. And just the whole interaction thing, I think, is the most important thing.
Terrific. And how have you encouraged other volunteers to get involved at both the region and state level? And why do you think that's important?
Well, without officials, there's no region or state event. Just can't run without officials. And I just encourage people. I'm not one of those ones that sits back and wants to sit on the other side of the fence and just that's pretty boring. So just get out there, help. The kids actually appreciate it when their parents are out there. They love it when their parents are out there with them. Whether it be raking a sandpit or starting a race or just anything, the kids actually love it when their parents are out there helping. So the more that we can get along those lines, then the better for the sport.
Terrific. All right. Well, thank you very much, Steve, and congratulations again. And thanks very much. And we look forward to seeing you once our season starts.
Yep. No, thanks a lot. Thanks, LA Vic, for the award.
Okay, the next award is the Energetic Apparel Centre Marketing Award. And thanks to Kate and Kane McIntyre from Energetic Apparel for their sponsorship of this award category. This award is judged via written submission. And the Centre Marketing Awards recognise the centres that have implemented an innovative marketing program, project or campaign, plan or activities that have demonstrably elevated the profile of their centre within their community, generated new memberships and maximised membership retention. So I'm pleased to announce the winner of the Energetic Apparel Centre Marketing Award is Brighton Little Athletics. All right, Mark Barling, welcome, and former president of Brighton Little Athletics Centre, but put in a wonderful submission, and Brighton Little Ath Centre finds themselves as the winner of the marketing award. Congratulations! And can you tell us a little bit about, Mark, the sorts of initiatives that you undertook with Brighton that you were really happy and proud of, and that worked?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Anthony. Really appreciate the award and certainly the acknowledgement for what is not just my submission effort, but actually for tens of people who've contributed to the development of the Brighton Little Aths Club over the last few years. I think a couple of things really stood out last year for us. One was the ongoing development of the sub-brand that we introduced called Black, so Brighton Little Athletics Centre, but introducing a sub-brand that just enabled us to do some cool things with that particular brand. So be able to introduce new merchandise lines and just make it in our way at least, just try and make it a little bit more relevant for the kids so that they felt they had something that they could not just wear at Little Aths, but effectively, be able to wear down the street. help from a branding perspective, obviously from a merchandise perspective, which in itself drove revenue, and identity. I think that was one of the really key things that come out of that. On top of that, we've been consistent now in our marketing approach, whether it be the use of flyers, the use of our sponsors, the use of schools. I think one of the things that really lifted us last year was a partnership with Palace Cinemas and being able to use cinema ads. So repurposing the LA Vic ad, being able to insert the Brighton logo at the relevant spot and be able to lift our audience reach in that regard made a big difference. So a lot of consistent activity that had been built up over a number of years, and then a couple of new initiatives, probably headlined by the Palace Cinema relationship, was the best.
Yeah, well done. That sounds terrific. Would you have any advice for other centres that might look on at Brighton and say, hey, we envy this sort of marketing activity that you do, and what might that advice be to another centre?
Yeah, a really good question, and sometimes you can try and find, I think, the silver bullet and the answer to those type of questions, and invariably there's never one. I think the first thing I'd say is this is about a consistent effort over a long period of time. This has not been a lift just as of last year, and the marketing effort wasn't just, hey, last year we tried 10 new things and look at it, they all worked. This is a consistency around Instagram, Facebook, email marketing, email newsletters, team app, community newsletters, schools, all of those sorts of things. So I think you've got to have a consistency. There's got to be an integration of those efforts and those approaches. So if you're putting stuff into your newsletter, if you have a newsletter on a weekly basis, make sure you're repurposing that into all of the other channels that you've got available to you, and make sure you're getting that then into things like sponsors and being able to understand the reach that they can give you if you're fortunate to have sponsors. I think the final piece is having a real crystal clear view of who you are and what your identity is as a club, and then being able to leverage off that. There's a bunch of clubs out there who do fantastic work, but there's not too many clubs that are exactly the same. So really, really be clear on what your identity is and what your purpose is. For us, it was about embracing the fact that we have a grass track in the middle of suburban Melbourne. We're one of the few clubs that has that. And that brought people to us. That then grew word of mouth, and that forms a nice baseline out in the community to say, you know what, if you want a fun, engaging, good on bodies as they grow type of environment to have fun on a Saturday morning, then this is the place to come down and do it at.
Fantastic. And lastly, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, loads. Too many is probably the short answer. But there's a bunch of people. So the marketing people that have been involved at the club are two of the standouts. So Scotty Orchard and Craig Jacket have been the current and the former marketing director of the club. But it goes beyond that. It goes to our sponsors being Buxton, Up and Running Podiatry, Jacket Agency, the Andrew Ritchie Photography. We've had huge support from the Bentley RSL, from Quest Accommodation in their sponsorship, and obviously Palace Cinemas. And then there's just the volunteers, and that list, as you well know, is endless. But I think just our two marketing bods in particular, Craig and Scott, who've given the club such a launching pad over that 4 to 5 year period. That was really topped off last year with some of the other initiatives we did.
Fantastic, Mark. Congratulations once again. And pass on our congratulations to your committee. Fantastic effort.
Will do. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks to LA Vic as well. Cheers.
The next award for presentation is the Out There Branding Centre Volunteer of the Year Award. Thanks to Roy Kowalski and the team at Out There Branding for their generous support sponsorship of this award category. The Centre Volunteer of the Year Award recognises volunteers that have given their centre exemplary service throughout season 1920. And I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the Out There Branding Centre Volunteer of the Year Award is Melissa Perry from Lake Bowling. Okay, speaking with me at the moment is Melissa Perry, who's the president of the newly established Lake Bolac Little Athletic Centre. And Melissa has won the award for Volunteer of the Year. Congratulations, Melissa.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, it's wonderful. Great surprise.
Absolutely. And look, I'm sure like most people do, you probably don't like talking too much about yourself, but can you tell us a little bit about the background, the story of the last year or so, and what the journey's been like in establishing a new centre?
Yeah, well, it's been quite an experience. It's been fun. I learnt lots along the way, learnt lots from lots of other people, but it was just fantastic for it all to come together and give the kids of Lake Bolac and the district the opportunity to take part in little athletics, as there was nothing in such an area for them to be part of. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, is there any particular quality, do you think, that that makes for a good volunteer at a centre? You know, what would you look for if you were looking for, you know, quality volunteers at a centre, and what sort of advice could you provide other centres in that regard?
Enthusiasm, keeping enthusiasm going, and it being interesting for people to learn more, and also offering the help to give them guidance and support in them learning that new role.
Mm-hmm. All right, terrific. And lastly, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh, there's lots of people that helped us get this off the ground. It was too many to name individually, but a special thank you to my dad, really. It was a very special moment for us to have. He was one of the first students at Lake Bolac College, and he actually helped us come out and dig not so much dig the shot put and discus rings, but lay the concrete and everything. So that was an experience. But also to Western Country region, Shane and Julie Bittnell were great support. The Lake Bolac community in itself was unreal. Sponsorship, businesses and families getting behind us. The real city of Ararat, they backed us all the way as well. So, my family, especially with all my time that I put into little athletics, it was always Lake Bolac, and they're like, yes, Mum, okay, we'll help out here and there. But everyone really, and also the guidance from LA Vic too. So, thank you. There was just too many to thank individually. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much.
It was well enjoyed. Yeah, for sure.
Terrific. Well, look, congratulations once again. It's a great story, and we look forward to seeing Lake Bolac thrive. Next year, and the year after that, and the year after that.
For sure. We'll be there.
Okay, the next tranche of awards is the Centre Membership Awards at region level. And these awards recognise the efforts of individual centres to grow their membership, maximise their retention, and attract back former members who may well have left the sport in previous seasons. And an average of these statistics is taken for each centre, and the leading small and large centre in each of the 7 regions is recognised. So all 14 awards have been generously sponsored by Timing Solutions. So again, thanks to Nick and his team at Timing Solutions for their support of these award categories. And just before I announce those awards are announced, I just want to say that we recognise the 1920 season will go down as one of the most trying seasons in the history of the association, and where the sport was effectively shut down on the eve of the State Track and Field Championships in mid-March. And we recognise that quite a few centres that typically would run a healthy cross-country championship over the course of winter, and of course with COVID restrictions, they've been denied that opportunity to run those events and fulfil their calendars and to provide their members with that experience, which is of course disappointing from everybody's perspective. And of course, those membership numbers too will have presumably affected their membership calculations with respect to the awards tonight. So we recognise that. Notwithstanding, congratulations to those centres in each region that are the winners of their respective regions in the large and small categories. Congratulations again to those leading centres across the 7 regions. The final awards for the evening are for the overall winners in the small centre and large centre categories. These awards are sponsored by Sports TG. And the winner of the Sports TG overall membership award in the small centre category is Rutherglen. Okay, I'm with Nathan Sandrell and Marika Partridge. Nathan's the president of Rutherglen Little Athletic Centre, and Marika is the secretary of the same centre, and they are the winners of the overall centre membership award in the small category. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your season? Because your numbers jumped up significantly on the year before, and there was probably some things I'd expect you did to ensure that you got excellent member recruitment this season just gone.
Yeah, it was great, Anthony. It was a huge improvement on the year before. Marika and the committee were massive instigators of the improvement. Without the team, without the committee, it wouldn't have been nearly as successful. Marika, do you want to talk about a few of the things we did?
Not rocket science, just back to basics. Facebook was a big promoter for us, just getting in all the local groups, the sort of what's on in our local town groups, and setting up events because they're always good for reminders. We put it in all the school newsletters and a follow-up in all of those. Flyers up and down the street of the local towns for those not on Facebook. I guess a lot of repetition of just getting flyers out there at the start of the season.
They sound like all the tried and true type activities, really, that would work for anybody. Do you have any, perhaps you have any suggestions for other centres that are your size in terms of what you would suggest that they could do to get a similar lift as to what you had?
I suppose the hardest thing we found in the past was funding, keeping a viable club with financially. So getting sponsors on board was critical. Marika did walk the pavements of the main street, knocked on a lot of businesses' doors, and getting that backing.
Okay, Nathan and Marika, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
From the president's perspective, certainly the committee done a fantastic job in supporting me and the parents. Marika, would you like to thank anyone?
From Little Aths, I think Taylor was a big help to us. She came up here, we're more than 3 hours from Melbourne, so to have her up here on site made a huge difference to us.
Awesome. Okay. Once again, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
And best of luck next season, when and if we get rolling. Congratulations again to Rutherglen. This brings us to the final award of the night, and I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the Sports TG Overall Membership Award in the large centre category is Diamond Valley Little Athletics. All right, I'm speaking with Shana Simonovsky, who's the president of Diamond Valley Little Athletics, the winner of the Overall Membership Award in the large centre category. Congratulations, Shana, and tell us a bit about your season 1920.
Thanks, Anthony. Such a great honour. Our team this season put in a massive effort to return to our track after it was upgraded. Like many centres, we in the past have experienced, high turnover, less membership. So we were really keen to ensure that we returned to our track and brought back that love of little athletics. We're also lucky we have 8 clubs, so we're able to, who ultimately foster the relationships with our members and our community. So they really played a key part in promoting our sport and getting kids back to the track.
Yep, wonderful. No, thanks very much. That's awesome. Look, I'm sure there's lots of great stories. There's success is always born of many people at centre level putting in. I'm sure that's the case down at Diamond Valley. But just great to see the Diamond Valley up and about again. Of course, had the track reconditioned, rebuilt for you a couple of years ago, and of course, numbers dropped away that you've built back up and heading absolutely in the right direction. So it's a credit to yourself in particular and your centre and the members down there at Diamond Valley. So congratulations on your win, and have a glass of bubbly maybe and enjoy.
Thanks so much, Anthony.
Congratulations again to the team at Diamond Valley and to all our award winners tonight. Congratulations on your season 1920. Well done. So that brings the formalities of our awards to a conclusion, but before I go, I want to give some acknowledgements. And first off, to our sponsors Timing Solutions, Energetic Apparel, Game Day Apparel, Sports TG, Out There Branding, and Nordic Sport for your sponsorship of the awards categories, but also your continued support of our sport. Notwithstanding, we're completely shut down just at this point in time. The fact that you're still behind us means a lot to many people across our sport. So again, thank you. A big shout out to our staff too. All of our staff have put in big hours to pull our conference together over the preceding 6 days, and our awards event tonight. And I hope you've enjoyed this different experience of presenting the conference and the awards program to you all. But look, I know we've been thrilled by the levels of engagement that we've had with this format. Look, I think it's given us something to think about too, about how we actually reach out to those parties, particularly in far-flung parts of the state, who wouldn't ordinarily get a chance to attend our awards presentation night or our conference for that matter. Something to think about for us. So look, on a final note, heading into season 2020, whatever that may look like, let's just sincerely hope that despite all the damage wrought on the community by COVID-19, that Little Athletics can before too long play its long celebrated and valuable role in forging stronger communities, building new friendships, and celebrating in the happiness and achievements of our young people. And on that note, I'll thank you very much for watching, and I'll bid you all a good evening.